The Federal Capital Territory Police Command says it has arrested 52 members of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria following what it describes as a violent protest in the nation's capital, Abuja. The Shiite members had trooped out in the Garki area of the FCT to continue their demonstrations against the detention of their leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaki. According to the FCT police, the group's members went on rampage and attacked innocent citizens as well as security operatives. It says the action of the group constituted a security threat and those arrested will be charged to court when investigations are concluded. Officials of the Nigerian Prison Service have been speaking on their plans for a better prison administration in the country in 2018 and beyond. According to the Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Prison Service, Francis Onobore, part of the plan is to revive its farm centers to cater for the feeding of inmates. He says this will reduce the financial burden of over 2.3 billion naira allocated annually for the feeding of prisoners.
This is one of the 17 farm centers of the Nigerian Prison Service located in Gwagwalada. The farm center consists of a poultry, piggery and fish ponds. It serves as a skill acquisition center for inmates. Beyond growing the farm and poultry products to sell to the public, the prison service is considering taking the cost of feeding of inmates off the shoulders of government. Statistics shows it costs government a total of 14,000 naira to feed a prisoner daily. And with an estimated prison population of 57,000, a total of 2.3 billion naira to feed them annually.
Efforts are being made to give priority attention to 3 pilot farms for large-scale production of specific crops in consideration of their comparative advantages. The 3 farms are Kujama Farm Center in Kaduna State, earmarked for maize production, Lakuchi Farm Center in Plateau State, earmarked for rice production, and Ozala Farm Center in Edo State, earmarked for palm oil production. The idea is to source significant quantity of food from these farms to feed prisoners, thereby relieving the federal government of the financial burden of feeding inmates.
The officer in charge of the farm center, who conducted journalists and officials around the center, speaks on the economic potential of the program as established by the service since its inception in 1976.
And we are doing our best to see that more will learn much more of the activities they see here. We have the piggery, we have the fishery, and a fish hatchery. We have the livestock that includes cattle and sheep. We have the crops like rice being produced in large quantity as seeds and even for table use.
An inmate shares his experience about the skills acquired. He plans to set up a fish pond when he leaves the prison facility.
I learn how to train the fish, how to ash. So I also learn how to rear the cow and the pig. So even if I'm out now, I can boast out. If there's a way I will get some of those things, I know I can set up myself.
The Farm Center program has been described as a laudable initiative to prepare inmates for life beyond the prison walls. The program, if fully harnessed, may serve as a tool for economic empowerment and a source of revenue for government.
Residents in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, should expect more developmental projects as the governor, Ibikunle Amosu, has assured them that he will provide more infrastructure to cater for the growing population. He mentioned this while inspecting some agencies in the state.
After an eventful first week in office in the new year, visiting state government ministries, Governor Ibikunle Amosu is dedicating the second week of 2018 to touring departments and agencies of the state government. Taking off from the administrative office of the State Water Corporation in Okemoso, Abeokuta, the state capital, Governor Amosu moves to the Ogun State Internal Revenue Service, stopping by at the Local Government Service Commission and the Teaching Service Commission. He moves around with keen interest in their affairs.
We are going around to see the condition of things, particularly in our MDAs, to take stock, look at where we are coming from, where we are presently, and where we envision to be. I've gone around. Clearly, yes, we have done well, but there's still a lot more to be done.
His next visit is to the State Water Works in Abuja area of Abuja. Here, Governor Amosun is conducted round the facilities and promises to add to the existing water schemes across the state in view of its increasing population.
We have started, this is a new one, but we are going to pick another place now. And I promise that we are going to have at least one scheme here, maybe probably one in Ijebu and maybe one in the Ogun West axis. But you know clearly all these water schemes are usually guided by some things.
Other places visited by the governor are the Ogun State Property Investment Corporation, OPIC, and the State Housing Corporation. Governor Amosun says his government is truly committed to making life more meaningful to the people of the state, as he hopes to deliver on all promises as contained in his manifesto and the budget for the new year.
Crude oil shipments to Asia are set to surge to a record high and has more on business news.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Melinda. Shipments of West African oil to Asia are set to surge to a record high this month, boosting overall fixtures heading east to their highest in 14 years. According to a survey released today by Reuters, China's loadings are expected to jump by more than 20% to more than 1.5 million barrels per day this month. There's a fierce competition for West African crude grades for China and other Asian buyers, with U.S. crude increasingly edging into the market. The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, says Nigeria is not ripe for increase in electricity tariff as a result of inaccurate data of energy consumers across the country. In a chat with Channels Television, the minister explains the need for consumer audits and metering before bringing up issues of tariff increase.
Before we can review tariffs, we should increase metering. We should also increase consumer audits to actually properly dimension the economy and see whether the unit cost is understated or overstated. Because if you have a market, an electricity market, where 7 million households are all that is in the database as consuming electricity in Nigeria, I'm not sure that that data is correct. So if the tariff was 1 naira and it is applied to 7 million households, it is possible that if there are actually 14 million households, you may collect more without necessarily increasing the tariff if you properly dimension the market. So I like to see more consumer enumeration, consumer audit and identification. I like to see more metering, and I like to see more education in order to properly dimension the market.
The Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola. After hitting a major milestone yesterday, something even bigger happened today, as the total value of listed equities at the Nigerian Stock Exchange is now close to hitting the 15 trillion naira mark. The big question is, what is driving the market? Let's hear more from Chimeze Obiwagu.
Thank you for joining us on Stock Market Report. Nigeria's equities market refused to join its global counterparts to take a breather from the recent rally. The market was on steroid today, up 3.60%, crossing 41,000 mark threshold in contrast to traders' forecasts. In fact, almost all the stocks were on bid before the close of the market, and traders say this is an unusual bullish performance. Optimism remains high ahead of the full-year corporate earnings season. This can be seen on the sectoral indices as all the sectors recorded gains. The industrial goods sector, led by Dangote Cement, gained more. Market breadth was mind-blowing. 59 gainers and just 3 losers. With the expected positive corporate earnings, coupled with a positive macroeconomic growth projection by the World Bank, traders say the rest of the week looks very positive. We can only wait with a lot of optimism and hope for the best. And that was the stock market report. I'm Chimezie Obi Iwago.
Well, it's not the same story for other major world markets as they ended midweek mostly lower. Reports that China may stop or slow down purchases of U.S. Treasury amid trade tensions between both countries. Let's see the closing numbers for today. And that's business news for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. The rest of the news at 10 continues with Melinda.
You first. First Bank.
Many thanks, Anne. And let's move to Kogi State now, where the governor, Yahaya Bello, has signed into law the Administration of Criminal Justice Bill passed by the State House of Assembly. While performing the function, Governor Bello explains that the slow pace of dispensation of criminal cases has affected the development of the state.
Kogi State, north-central Nigeria, is home to people like others all over the country going about their business. These 2 girls are also on the move to make ends meet and have a better life. But for that life to be made better, social justice is key, and the Kogi State government is signing a bill into law that speeds up dispensation of criminal cases, which the governor, Yahaya Bello, says has hindered development of the state.
Before we go into the program of this ceremony,
it is called the Bill of Administration of Criminal Justice, which has been passed by the State House of Assembly. Members of the legislature, the Ministry of Justice, and government functionaries are here at the Government House, Lokoja, to witness the sign-in.
Your Excellency, I will still appeal, as important as this bill is, would want to request that we need to sensitize and educate the public.
The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice explains the virtues of the bill.
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear on the role of the 3 organs of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. The legislature is charged with the responsibility of making laws for the good of the people. And that is exactly what you have done by passing this law, by passing this bill into law.
The signature of the governor appended on the bill means that the law of administration of criminal justice of Nigeria is now documented in Kogi State. The governor says this will help in the decongestion of prisons.
It is often believed that justice delayed is justice denied. In Kogi State, we are committed to the administration of dispensation of justice as speedily as possible, and hence we have this today.
Kogi State now joins 7 other states across the country that have signed the bill into law.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's Super Eagles to face England in an international friendly on June the 2nd at the Wembley Stadium. That's on Sports News. Stay with us.